Hello, good morning, and welcome to the first episode of my new Timberborn series. So I'm calling this Greedy Armageddon because we're doing the Greedy Builders mod, which, if you're unfamiliar, it's basically just a mod that combines both the folktales and the Iron Teeth into one faction. So that's why they're both standing here versus just by themselves. This is going to be on the Lemon Canyon map right here. And I'm going to set this to easy mode and then customize it. So I'm going to set starting food and water each to 100. And then temperate weather, I'm going to do 15 to 30. Oh, and I've caps lock. There we go. Turn that off. So for droughts, I'm going to do 150 to 200 days. Drought duration handicap, I'm actually going to set this to 10%. Now 10% of 200, that's still 20 days maximum for our first drought, which is quite a bit. I've done variations of this where I set it up to like 50, 60, even 80%. And my first droughts were like 113, 120 days. And I was like, yeah, this is not doable. So, we're going to set it down to 10 and hopefully we can make it through the second drought, but we'll see. I haven't been able to make it past the second drought. And this is like the 5th time I've tried, starting this series. So we'll see. Bad tide chance, I'm going to set to 50%. And then cycles without bad tide, I'm going to leave at 5. And that's because I'm hoping that we should have at least 150 days until the first bad tide. So fingers crossed we're able to at least set up a good enough bad tide diversion. And then bad tide duration is again 150 to 200. There we go. Injury chance, I'm going to set to 100. And then building refund rate, also 100. Bad tide duration handicap is 30%. That should be fine. All right, so I'm going to pick back up after I name the new settlement. Oh, almost spelled that wrong. Booyah. All right, here we are. So first thing I'm going to do is pause the game. Second thing I'm going to do is pop into dev mode, and I'm going to turn off the fog and turn on the free camera. So first thing we need to do, build a farmhouse, because we need to get potatoes growing as soon as possible. So I'm just going to build enough paths here to get us around. A general area of where we have to plant potatoes. So let's see, let's get that one. Alright, so I'm going to delete, well, I'm going to collect, rather, all of the carrots that are in here, all of the sunflowers, and then once I collect all of these berries, then I'll actually delete them. So that we can just set this whole square, rectangular-ish. We can set all of this to potatoes. And then I'll probably end up putting a second farmhouse over in this area also. But we'll do that in a second. Once we get everything cleared here. So what I'm going to do is set this area to cut, since that's what we want cut first. And then a lumberjack flag in here. I'll set another one over here. Now I need a few gatherer flags, because they'll be able to gather all of these berries, as well as there's a few chestnuts over here. One thing I want to do is put a path here, because these mangroves will spread and I don't want them to block the path area. So, speaking of mangroves, also going to put a gatherer flag here and get it connected to collect these mangroves. And then, since there is carrots over here, I'll set another farmhouse. There's good. Also set a gatherer flag. There's actually quite a few chestnuts over in this area. I don't intend to keep farming over here. I'll probably put forestry over in this area and keep farming here. Probably the best idea, in my opinion. I do also want to set these couple trees for cutting. Let's see. And we can reach all of them. Perfect. Awesome. And then I'm also going to set all of these trees for cutting. And these, so that I can get this path connected to this set of stairs here. I also want a gatherer flag here. And then we'll do this also. Alright, so this is a combination of both of the factions, like I said before. And for the playthrough, I do intend to use the folktale style of breeding. However, for now, I would rather use the logs for building and not building housing. So I'm just going to use the breeding pods for now. The biggest downside to that is that uses our food and water to make new beavers. So if we run out of either or both of those things, then we run out of the ability to make beavers, which is its own problem. So I'm going to put the dams over here, just because this is going to give us the most amount of water possible, and we're really going to need that, especially early game, which is another reason why I'm going to set quite a few deep water pumps over in this area. Kind of just going to scatter them for the most part. Just so that I can get as many put in as possible. And then get all of these connected. Alright, so then also going to need, not those, can't build those yet. There we go. Quite a few of the small water tanks. Let's get those connected. And then also want to put a few more over in this area. And also mark this area for cutting. And all of this for cutting, since we're going to need to get down here to build these two dams. And this is going to be something we need to do fairly quickly. So, actually, I'm gonna do this. Now, I can also build a couple gatherer flags. these also. So what I think I'm gonna do is put another one here, but not on that. It's there. That'll go bad. That's where you put that more. Alright, well that'll have to do. So now I'm just gonna press play, set it on 2x speed, and also set 4 beavers in the district center, since those are the only builders that we'll have at the moment. And then once they get quite a few things built, hopefully we'll have more beavers by that time, but if not, then no, we'll definitely have enough more beavers at that time. Because these are only going to take maybe 5 days to build. Or no, probably like the rest of tomorrow they'll be built. And then it takes, I think, 5 days to make a beaver. But that would mean that we have to have storage for all of the things. So, berries. We'll do 1 for chestnuts. I'm not even gonna be able to connect this. We'll do 1 for chestnuts. I do need 1 for carrots, even though that's kind of what we survive on for the most part in the beginning. We'll also do just 1 for mangoes, so we can just get as many collected as possible, because a lot of food will never be a bad situation to have too much food. It's too little food is when we start to have issues. But I do also need to get potato storage. Even though we're not growing potatoes at the very moment, it's only going to help us to have as many of these as possible. That's because in the grill, which is another thing we need to build, so let's just put that. The grill turns 1 raw potato into 4 grilled potatoes. So basically, if we can get one of these medium warehouses full, that's actually 800 food, even though it's only taking up 200 in storage. So, not an issue. Be beneficial if anything. So I'm just going to start getting potatoes planted here, and actually set this to harvest and highest priority, so that we can start getting rid of all of these carrots that we have here. They bring things over new ways relatively soon. Let's see, I'll set this to 3 speed, just to get it going a little bit quicker. Luckily these farmhouses store 50 of each item, because we don't have any storages built yet. And this is interesting why they haven't brought... Oh, there they go. Right as I was saying it. Perfect. And now we've got beavers growing. So I'm actually gonna put in 2 more so that we have a total of 5. There we go. Because we've already got 8 vacancies, and I know we have 3 kits, so when those grow up, it'll go down to 5, but probably by that time, at least 1 adult beaver will die. But hopefully not. We'll see. Let's just get a couple more planted here. But they're almost done with the dam. Okay, so that's not horrible. For the dam, and you've got 20, which is another thing I should build storage for, since we're going to be clearing down basically all of these trees. I have plans for all of this space, so I'm just going to put log storage. Probably set a compact water wheel to this compact water wheel is built, we'll be able to put in some lumber mills so that we can start getting planks and gears, since gears are made from planks, so that we can then get medium tanks. Medium tanks hold 300 water, or liquid rather, not just water, whereas these small tanks over here only hold 30, so it's 10 times as much. Which we are definitely going to need a lot to get through a 200-day drought. So let's get probably, well, no, we still have beavers in here. All right. So I think we need to get carrot storage done sooner rather than later. And then berry storage. Just one of the berry storages. And then also the water storage. Let's see, what is this? 10. 15 plus 8 is 23. 23 times 30 overall. Sorry, my phone was not next to me. Let's see. 23 times 30 is 690 water we will have available. I'm going to build it small. So I think we're at the point where, yeah, there's no more trees in here, not even seedlings, which is a good thing. So let's get the rest of this field of potatoes and get trees. And I'm not going to mark the chestnut trees. Even though I did mark a couple in here, but that should be okay. And then also going to mark everything over here. This, let's just mark everything for cutting. We're going to cut it all down anyway, so it's not a super big deal. And then mark this area just in case those spread. Mark all of this, all of these. There isn't a lumberjack flag over here, so I'm not worried about these chestnuts getting cut down. Mark all of this. These oaks are going to come in so clutch. This whole area I'm going to mark. Even though there's not trees in the majority of this area, these oaks will spread. Let's see what else can we mark. I don't want to mark those mangroves. If I have to mark the mangroves, that's going to be like worst case scenario. I'm also going to pause water pumps since we don't have any place to put the water. Oh, there's a line there. 40%. I'm actually just going to mark this for demolition and then highest priority. And since none of the storage is built, I'm just going to pause this farmhouse so that we can get builders elsewhere. Yeah, because we need this industrial like now. Let's see this like a click and drag type of situation, but there isn't in this game, unfortunately. So we have to do each one by one. And next one. There we go. Oh, I missed 6 actually. Storage for them, so there's no point really putting our beavers back into the house, especially because we've got so much food already. We've got 324, and it's not like we're not producing food. We do still have all of the gatherer flags collecting the berries and the chestnuts and the groves. There's just not which is okay. Sitting there because their storages are full and there's nowhere else for anything to go, so they just sit there waiting for an opportunity. So we'll unpause those. Let's see, we've got a guaranteed 8 more days left in this temperate cycle, so what I'm actually going to do is set this efficient farmhouse back on and then set to harvest. Also mark everything else. See, there's 3. So hopefully we can collect quite a good bit of these carrots so that we can get more potatoes in. Let's see, I'm also going to mark these for demolition and highest priority so that I can fit a few more. So set this to high. Okay, we're looking good. I've got a couple more beavers, but I need more. So I'm gonna mark all of the storages highest priority because we need to start storing. So I'm going to actually get all of these. course, like I said earlier, as much food as possible isn't going to hurt. It's just that one raw chestnut turns into 2 grilled chestnuts. So it's like they only double their value versus, like I said before, potatoes quadruple their value. So it's just, there's a point in having them later in the game. They do provide a happiness bonus, but in the early game, there's just no point. So let's get this gatherer flag going. I'm gonna need to set a third. You know what? Let's just set this deep water pump to a highest construction priority, so that when it gets built, it'll fill. So set more potatoes. We still have carrots to collect, including all of these and everything that's over here too. So I'm also going to mark these 3 oaks for demolition. That 4th one is okay. We'll survive it. So I'm not going to prioritize these, because I'm hoping they'll still produce fruit. Wow, I missed a whole section there. I'm hoping they'll still produce fruit. At least once more. Yeah, 12%. 15. 72. Not very many, so let's get rid of these 2 also. Wow, we're up to 17 beavers. How many have died? 1. At least 1. Well, lasted longer than I thought he was going to last. Well, alright then. Okay, so... 116 potatoes. We should get more potato storage in there. At least another one. Oops. And I know everything is spread out at the moment. It was just because all of these trees were here and I couldn't put anything else in their space until they got cut down. So eventually, once everything else gets cut down, grows up and gets cut down rather, I'll end up putting storage and I'll get housing built into out in this area. Since it's not irrigated, we can't grow anything on it, so there's no point in using the irrigated area to put non-crops on, especially early game when we need as much food as possible. The first drought, like I said before, is only going to be about 20 days at most, so we've definitely got enough to get through that. But I'm assuming the second drought is going to be 40 to 60 days. So, and wow, up to 18 days in the first temperate cycle is actually quite a bit. So, so 780 for storage. Plus the 5 here and these 3 more. It's going to give us an extra 240 on top of the 810 that we already have. So I think we should be over 1,000. If not over 1,000, just under it. So fingers crossed. Let's see, how much is that? 2%, 40%, 5%. Okay, so some of these I'm going to end up demolishing. There stops being a point, especially in early game, when like these oaks take 30 days to grow. They do produce 8 logs, so it is the best log production tree in the game, but early we really need to be doing pines and birch trees, which take 12 and 7 days. We just don't have the 30 days to wait for logs. We need to get storage and the grill we haven't even set up. So like all of these ingredients, these almost 300 ingredients we can't use at all until the grill gets built. But because we have almost 500, 460 something edible food at the moment, there's no rush, luckily. Especially because we still have all of these carrots and all of these mangroves haven't even been collected. I'm assuming they're not in range. Regardless, the gallery flag is paused. Let's see, I do want to put a staircase here, but we haven't unlocked them, so I'm just going to put a path, just so the mangroves don't populate that area. Let's see, let's actually put two beavers in these deep water pumps. Let's pause you too. Except to just random things to do. Okay, so I'm gonna pause this lumberjack flag, this one, since there's no trees for them to gather to cut down. I'd rather put them over here. Because I didn't do this yet. And we've got our first drought warning. Okay, 21 days in though, not bad. So that's already built also. Let's see, what did we get up to? 1020. Awesome. Okay, not bad. I'm worried about the first drought. So long as we can grow the storage, which it is trending upward. Let's see how many days. Estimated time to fill is 4 days, and we've got 2. Not bueno, but not no bueno. That didn't make sense. Oh well. Okay, so we're starting to get rid of these bushes. So I'm just gonna plant potatoes. mangroves. How did I miss so many? Okay, now pause this lumberjack flag because none of these trees are growing. Pause this farmhouse because they're not collecting anything. So I'm just going to pause the district center now, because now we don't have any vacancies. Yeah. Almost 800 water. Let's see if we can break it before the end of today. Today did just start it, and yeah, we've already broken it. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to pause you since you're just sitting there. I'm also going to pause you. Although you've got a fairly good reach on mangroves and quite a few to still collect. Let's mark these for demolition. We'll see. Let's give you one last priority so that that extra beaver goes in here. Let's mark all of this. Priority for demolition. That's good. Although it's not time, so they're not building anything. Let's see, let's set this up to 864 water going into this drought. I'm gonna pause all of the water pumps. 18 days, perfect. So it's actually less than the maximum. Okay, so good thing, not bad. Let's set this back to regular. Set harvest. Carrot storage is empty. Perfect. Perfect. Now, there shouldn't be any issue in collecting and storing all of these carrots, since everything that was here has been collected and then eaten also. There's no carrots in the storage. The only carrots that are in the storage now are what's being brought over actively. I'm also going to get rid of this water wheel. We're not going to be able to use it in the majority of the beginning of the format of the playthrough until we can get some bad water power production going. I just think they're not going to be useful. So I shouldn't have put it in the first place, but that's okay. We'll get over it. I do want to put a lumber mill. Let's see, what I should do is put housing here. How many beavers do we have? So 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, 12, 15. Hello. This is 18. 21, 24. Let's get... Oh, wait. How did I put this door? Let's flip this. What did I say? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 27. Okay, let's pause you. Because we'll survive on the berries, mangoes. Oh, wow, we have 250 mangoes over there. I need another storage for that. Wow, I was gonna say we'll survive on the 800 food that we have before we start needing to add into the ingredients that we have, which are the chestnuts and potatoes. Wow, I'm actually really surprised that there's that many mangoes. Like I said, I've started this episode so many times, and I've never been able to collect that many mangroves, so I'm genuinely surprised. I'm also going to leave all of these houses unconnected until we can get these inventor huts built. I also want to put in, so my idea for this is I want to put in platforms here, and then what I'll do is put the lumber mills here. And the reason I connected these is because houses share power, so that's why they all light up blue. So then if I want to, I can just put power wheels like here, for example, and then even if the lumber mill is all the way over here, it'll still get power. So my intention with these planks, with these platforms here, is that I can, not the science planks, is that we can use as little irrigated space as possible, which is going to be a big thing in the early game. Let's see. Oh, just that. Wow, I literally just said that too. That's hilarious. Okay, so I'm gonna leave beavers in here so they can empty their own storage. Because if not, then the builders have to do it. Oh, and they're not going to do it because carrots is full. Boy, oh boy, look at that. We are in a perfect position here. Let's get this one prioritized, and we'll set another one to priority also. Just here. Definitely not going to last the 13 days that we still have left in this drought. It just means that we really need to collect all of these potatoes. That's because if they're still in the ground, when the water is, or when the land is no longer irrigated, they can actually die. So like we can see here, drought resistance is 1 day. So they can go 1 day after the water evaporates or we collect it all. So hopefully we can get all of these collected. Another potato storage. We should. Just because each one of these is only one. Let's see. 14 times 8. So there's only 112 left in the ground, and we've definitely got enough storage for that. So that should be okay. Yes. Perfect. So now we've got 5 unemployed beavers. I'm just going to set a whole bunch of lumberjack flags. Yeah, so this is what's going to happen. Yeah, see how they're already dying over here? So mangroves are a little bit different. As you can see, the mangroves are in the water. So these require water to be alive. And they can last 6 days without water. So that's why we had 18 days in this drought, and that's why they're dying here. Even though this land is irrigated, there's no water in this area. So these are kind of sort of similar to hydroponic plants, hydroponic like garden plants. They're in water versus on land, so that's why they're dying. Let's see. What I do want to do is maybe try and get those. Yeah, do that. Oh, jeez. Okay, so they're probably not going to be able to collect all of these rockets, all of these potatoes. So what I'm going to do is get this built, highest priority set to harvest. Hopefully we can collect all of these. We've got plenty. Potatoes times 4, so 1,200, more than 1,200. Grilled potatoes will be fine. Especially because we've got 1,100, more than 1,100 food. Let's see if it'll show the total. Let's see. You get rid of these. They're already starting to die. Dang it. I was really hoping we could have gotten all that. Oh, they're just going to dead too. Alright, well, that's okay. So I'm just going to pause these two, actually. I do intend on keeping all of them there. One more thing we can do. I ended up not needing these carrot storages. So let's just set this one to mangroves. What else? Small lumberjack flags. Why are they not cutting things down? Ah, we are out of storage again. This is a good problem to have, I think. Especially early game. There was a lot of trees in this area, so kind of a little bit of a cheat, but it's okay. In other maps, you'll see, if you play this game, there's not normally as many trees in this area, in the starting area. I do also want to put a gatherer flag and another lumberjack flag in this area, so we can collect these before they die. Okay, so now that those trees over in this area have been demolished, we can set another storage here and actually put it in the corner. So then I think we'll be able to put a second one there. So let's see. So there we go. Let's pause you. You're not doing anything. You're not going to do anything. I'm actually going to delete this. All of these mango trees are going to die. Yeah, see, 200. So I'm going to get rid of all of you guys. You're necessary. You're necessary. You're not. Right there. Let's set this empty one to chestnuts. Because that storage is full. Okay, so I think we're in a good enough position now that we can start getting science. So I'm going to put... We kind of need to get a good bit of this, a good bit of science relatively quickly. So, oh crap, we've got 12 unemployed beavers? Holy crap. I'm gonna pause all of these pods and set up a bit more. Let's see, We'll just do it like this. this. There we go. Now we've got 2 homeless beavers, which is better than the 30 that it was before. Okay, so let's get a bunch of inventor huts built. Let's just put them all over here. I mean, at the moment, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5's okay. 600 water. That should be okay. The beavers are set to consume 100% water and food every day, which should be about 2.25 water per day. So we've definitely got enough to last the next 5 days. Okay, and we're starting to produce science. Perfect. Okay, I think we're in a good place now. Yeah, we definitely are, especially since our well-being just went up to 5 and up to 6, highest it's been. Okay, so I think now we've got enough. We can start getting happiness boosters going. So yeah, let's get a campfire in here. We'll just put this. We'll put it right over here. We've not got much else to put in, which is okay. Let's see, what can we put on a roof? What roofs do we have access to? Since we don't have stairs or anything. Stairs or ladders. So we can't go up. Which is an issue because these rooftop terraces have to be put on a roof. They can't be put underground. Okay, let's just go without for the moment. Let's just set another campfire and get it. There we go. Okay, so one big thing we need to do is get a lumber mill inside. And I know I said I wanted to put it on top of the housing, and I still will. We just need to have planks to build platforms, stairs, so that we can get up to on top of the housing. So let's just get all of these in here. Get a lot of these in. Let's see. Oh wow, and we've already got the first platform built? Heck yeah! Oh yeah. Okay, okay, let's get... Wow, we're actually progressing quite quickly. Not enough to get a ladder. That's okay, let's just set this one to planks. Not that we're overproducing planks, but it never hurts to have a storage of these things. Also, should get more water collection going. Even though there's no water to collect at the very moment, it's not going to hurt to have come temperate cycle. Okay, so now that all of these mangroves are dead, let's put all of these for cutting. We should get a path over here to collect let's get a... Well, let's see, what's the range on these things? So it'd have to be like... Except I'm going to pause this power wheel so that they don't build it. I will need them to build the shafts first. Awesome. And then in this area, we can do one of these. No. Oh, yeah. Nothing we can really do about that. Also now, unfortunately, everything that I just put down here is going to be flooded, and it's not going to be able to work. It's not okay, because that means the water is coming back. Let's see what is first. That's okay. It doesn't matter. Gonna be flooded anyways. Let's see what's present here. Let's see. Wow, we still have our starting berries left. Only one of them. Holy crap. Okay, we're this playthrough's definitely going somewhere. Let's get probably won't get rid of them, truth be told. I'll probably just pause them. So the water stops flowing, and I said it will be. Like I said, it was going to stop earlier, the first time I deleted it. Oh, we're flooding. Why are we flooding? Maybe because it's working just fine. Is going down though, so I guess that's all right. Interesting, very, very interesting why it did that, but that's okay. We've gotten past it. The only things that should be flooded are the lumberjack flags. Land is irrigated. Gotta get potatoes. Set this one to plant and this one as harvesting so that we can hopefully get sort of a rotation going where obviously this one will plant and this one will harvest so that they kind of get collected and then planted like relatively soon after the first is done, so that hopefully we can get as many out of this, as many potatoes collected as possible. All the way up to 900 water. That was think, more than what we started our last route with. Holy crap. Okay, so that means that we need to get more storage. I'm also going to move all of these hunters. Get forestry here. This one here. Yeah, that's a good area. Alright, so let's get some birches going. Get rid of things. I'm actually going to do this one. Let's see. Wow, we've got 577 science. Okay, so let's start getting metal then. So I'm going to put a metal scavenger flag there. How is this not done yet? I feel like this should have happened a while ago. But that's alright. So let's see, this needs to be highest priority so that it gets done. I know we've got just under 400 logs, but the only way to reproduce logs is with the forester, especially since there's not many left that we started with. There's an oak over here, which this guy's getting, but other than that, we've pretty much gone through a majority of it. There's a couple over here that'll be good, but I think this is a good place to stop for today. I know we've already passed an hour, and I'm not trying to keep them more than an hour and a half at the most. So I think an hour is okay for the first episode. So let's just get both of these set to block. All right. So hopefully this gets done building shortly. Oh wow, all of our water storage is full too. Oh boy. Alright, there's that last log. Awesome. Alright, well thank you everyone for watching. This is kind of sort of my first video, so if you could let me know what you think. Comments, positive or negative, either way I'll take it and I will take the advice. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Please stay tuned for episode 2. I'm going to try and post 3 times a week, so fingers crossed that happens. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.